standard pig-eating son of a scrotumless goat! Your camel has no hump! Get your heart! Nathan Elysian, if you are there, I give you 3 camels for the woman. Fanmail! Q&A. Friday. Lovely. QJ500. Why is the text so small this week? QJ500. What are your ideas for a new Strifle if you are building one? I'm not. So I have none. There are a lot of really cool 3D printed kits out there, though. And I've never really felt the urge to get one, just because I'm not a huge fan of hyper-realistic blasters on account of reasons. But there's a couple I've seen, you're like, oh, that's awful party. QJ500 again. What are the motors you use the most, and why? There actually isn't one. I haven't done enough flywheel blasters to say that there's one I use the most. I think the one that I have used the most are Rhinos, just because they're cheap and powerful and they work. But really, it comes down to, 1, what the person who's doing the commission wants, and 2, what battery you're going to be using, because that's largely what drives what motor you end up using. Alternatively, you could pick the motor and then you match a battery to it, but there really isn't one. And because there's such a variety, certain ones work better on certain batteries, certain ones work better on certain guns, on certain flywheels, on certain cages. So you really have to figure out what you're wanting, what you're going for, and work it all out from there. Now you can see me. The Man Emperor of Mankind. Captain, what are your favorite lore-wise Warhammer 40k or Star Wars? Star Wars. Obviously, you're probably biased given your handle. But it's mostly just because that's what I've read more of. And I think if I knew more of the lore of Warhammer, I might like it more. But the whole stagnant nature of the Imperium kind of always kind of made me kind of go, well, this is kind of silly. But, I mean, Star Wars has similar problems, I'm sure. Yada, 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 kaboom. Now that the Raven is making a comeback, do you see the prices for originals going down? No, probably not. They'll probably actually go up, because now they're collector items. Geeky Kitty. Captain, question for Q&A. Would you rather have the body from when you were in your prime with your intellect you have now, or for the lime green Skittles to go back to being lime? Also, do you have any tips for waltzing? I would take my old body, honestly. My knees weren't as bad, my back wasn't as bad, I wasn't quite as much of a plumpkin. And you can get the lime Skittles in different flavor packs now. So if I really wanted lime Skittles, I could buy a pack of those, buy a pack of original, and swap the greens, but that just seems like too much work. Tips for waltzing. As the lead or as the follow? Basically, learn to count. Waltzing is... It's really fun. It's one of my favorite dances. I actually prefer Viennese waltz, but that's because I prefer that music more. The real trick with any dance, whether it's a social dance or, a choreographed dance, is your partner. You learn how to dance with your partner so that you don't have to do the lead and follow nearly as much, which can make up for a lazy lead. Once you get used to your follow, knowing all your little subtle moves, and then you go to somebody who's not, you realize how lazy you've gotten with your follow, or your lead and follow. I know I did. Mr. Modulus. Cap. What is your camera and rig? I'm actually just using my phone. It's a Galaxy S6. And I've got a tripod that I can set it up for when I'm doing this portion or when I'm doing my Lego builds, and then when I'm filming from the top down like I do for the majority of my build and, K26 and mod tips and all that, I just have a phone holder gooseneck rig that attaches to the rafters of my shop and just holds the camera directly above me. And then I just bought a super, super cheap filthy mic that occasionally sneaks into camera. But I don't actually have a fancy setup. Travis Shee, what are your thoughts on a modular Maverick, or about putting a Slingfire grip and stock on a barrel brake? Well, a modular Maverick sounds fabulous, but silly, which is probably the point. And as far as a sling fire grip on a barrel break, wouldn't be my choice. I really like the tactical rough cuts that people... Oh, barrel break. On a barrel break. I really... Back to my original point. I really like the tactical rough cut that people do. And you could do a similar thing to a barrel break, though I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it. The barrel break, I think, would lend itself better to the sling fire, actually, because it looks more like a double-barreled shotgun, and that's kind of what you would get with that stock. Still wouldn't be my first choice for a stock for it, though. Dimitri Peister. What is that tool behind you on the wall closest to the drill press? It's a hatchet? Kind of? I think it's for fencing. It's got a notch, it's got a bunch of holes, got a weird ring thing. Not actually sure what that's for. Put it in the comments. All 2,000 of you that will go ahead and do that. Voidwalker. Captain, do you think a Snapfire 8 integrated onto an Apollo would be good in HVZ? No. No, I don't. Neither of those are easy to... Or neither of those are particularly high capacity. And the Apollo is top prime, which is not great for HVZ because it's awkward. And not as maneuverable, I guess I would say. The sling and the Snapfire is also not the greatest as far as revolvers go. There's better options for a master key. You can do a purely slam-fired strong arm makes for a better HVZ master key. It wouldn't be a terrible setup, but it definitely wouldn't be one that I would recommend. Horatio! If you have a time machine, where and when would you go? Oh, so many options. I'd probably go back and have a chat with that Jesus fellow. See what that was really all about. I'd love to go have lunch with Einstein. Just say hello. And then I would probably go to yesterday, get the lottery winning tickets, and take them 2 days earlier to myself. Might kick Hitler in the junk. Wouldn't want to kill him, causality and all that, but I'm pretty sure the space-time continuum could survive him getting one good junk kicking in the bunker. Phase Pug. Did you see the flywheel jolt? Not in person, but I have seen the video. Bruce Reed. Why haven't you named your Alpha Trooper? Because it hasn't earned it. Brandon Gibney. Where did you get your awesomeness? I would argue from my parents. Both of my parents. My father is a schmuck, but he does have an inordinate amount of talent. And the gnome is just cool. Caleb Carter. What is your ideal pet? And what is your favorite type of breed of said animal? I would like a lynx and a raven. And I don't know that they actually have breeds. For the raven, just good old Corvus Corax. Because I want pets that I could feed other people's pets to. So if somebody has a particularly misbehaving yappy dog, I could send my raven to go grab it and bring it to my lynx. Clowny Nerf. Wondering if you have ever used an AA bow in Nerf. I don't even know what an AA bow is, so probably not. Best Emerald Miner. Do you like any animes? Yes. Avante! Kyle Harrelson. Ahoy, Captain! Was wondering, what do you do if a primer doesn't take even after you have sanded it and applied another layer? I've never had that happen, so I have no idea. Get better primer? Maybe? Other than that, I really have no... I need more details. What brand of primer are you using? What are you trying to prime? What are the barometric conditions? I've discovered around here when it's really, really cold, paint doesn't like to stick, and when it's really, really humid, paint doesn't like to stick. So, a lot of things can affect it. Chaotic Cody. What's the hammer with a handle with 2 parts? What? There's lots of hammer. Pretty much all of my hammers have 2 parts. I don't know that I have a hammer that doesn't. Can you give me a clue? Hum a few bars. Which one are you talking about? They're hammers. They have different parts. Preston Jones, if you could have any super or mega car, what would you have? I don't know what qualifies as a super or mega car. Does a Duesenberg? I'd love an old Duesenberg. Sandstorm the Pharaoh. Hello, Captain Xavier. I have 2 questions. Do they ban your Drain Blasters in HVZ considering they ban Titans since they are more powerful than a Titan? And 2, what is a good way to start HVZ at a college campus even though you aren't in college yet? I have never attempted to use a Drain Blaster in HVZ because it's a bad idea and they should ban it, so I didn't even bother to try for fear that if I brought one, other people would bring one, and then we'd end up with a singled one and somebody would lose an eye. So I don't even bring them at all. I did bring my Drain Blasters to Afterworlds, though I only used them as shotguns. Then somebody else started bringing homemades, and one was way too powerful, and now they're all banned. Which is why you don't do that. You ruin it for everybody. As for starting, I would contact the campus, because most HVZs are an official campus club. And so they are registered, they've got an advisor, they have to follow all the rules, but that also means that they get all of the advantages of being a campus club. You get some budget, you get advertising rights, you can reserve locations, that sort of thing. So there probably exists an actual club, and you can contact them and see if they allow non-students to play. Some actually do. Others very specifically do not. So, yeah, contact the people in charge. If you're talking about a campus that doesn't have an HVZ, same thing. Contact the campus club, whoever's in charge of that, and discuss with them about potentially starting a new club. You're definitely going to need an advisor, and you're going to need official rules and all of that. And if you're not a student, they're much less likely to help you create a campus club, but it's worth a try. You might also just talk to them about using the campus, because sometimes, if it's community college, they might allow you to use the space, but you would need to talk to the people in charge. Darren Jacobson! Do you think a dart zone chain from a light command or similar could be made to work in a Vulcan? Could? Yes, with enough epoxy, anything's possible. But it's not going to be easy. The chains are very, very different. So, the way the Vulcan chains are designed help it feed better, and you would have to do something to make a belt that would feed similarly. I know people have made homemade belts, so it's probably possible. I think the easiest way would just be to take the belt apart and reattach it using nylon cord. Barrett, since you have so much HVZ experience under your belt, what is the ideal HVZ turnout? Obviously, there are many factors such as location, size, mission type, but what kind of attendances allows for unique missions while staying controlled? I have been in missions everywhere from around 300 people down to less than 30 people, and I wouldn't say that there was an ideal. Most of the ones that I went to, the people running it were good enough at what they were doing to scale the mission to fit the number of people. So in the games where they had 300 people, they had 4 different objectives. The zombies were doing one thing, and then there were 3 different human objectives, and the humans were broken into 3 groups, and each of them had their own objective. So none of them were totally over swamped. Because if you have all the humans in one big clump, it's very, very hard for these zombies to attack them. But if you make it so that the humans have to spread out, then it's a lot easier. And the thing that a lot of players don't seem to understand is the missions in HVZ, at least the ones that I've been on, where it's a 10-day game, but then every other night you have a big mission where you get all the players out in one place together. They are very much designed and intended to get humans killed, because for the apocalypse to work, humans need to die and turn into zombies, and the horde needs to grow. The trick is not having it grow too fast. There was one game the first game that we had, went to a WSU, and this will get covered in Storytime with Captain Xavier soon. The game started on a Wednesday, and by Friday, everybody was dead. Things had gone sideways, and everybody died. And which is why we were brought in, was to play as game balance, to help them balance it out. So if a mission was going too easy, help get a couple of humans killed. If the mission was too hard, help the humans not get wiped out. It really comes down to balance. But anything less than 30 people, you just don't have enough going on. Either everyone's going to the zombies are going to wipe everyone out, or none of the zombies are going to get close enough to kill anybody. I think the most fun I had were probably ones that had closer to 80 people. Though the 300 one that was a lot of fun from what I hear, though we actually weren't directly involved in the big one. We were involved in some of the larger ones, but for the most part, I would say around 100 people is a good turnout. Though once again, it also depends on, as you said, many factors. What's the percentage of humans to zombies? Because if there's 70 zombies and 20 humans, that's not going to go well. And if you have 5 zombies and 95 humans, that's not going to go well either. Unless you split it up so that they scatter the humans and people get killed. But yeah, really, it's going to come down to how you write the scenarios, who's running the game. Any number of people can work. I've seen incredibly small turnouts have way more fun than the big ones just because they were focused. And I've seen small ones that were miserable because everybody just died or nobody could get tagged or what have you. So I don't think there is an ideal one. It really comes down to making do with what you have. Mr. Rez, pancakes or waffles? Waffles. I can't remember the last time I had pancakes. I have waffles every week. Creed King 18. Have you worked a forge before since you have used real steel weapons? I'm pretty sure this has been asked before. Yes, I have actually done true blacksmithing, heating metal up in a coal forge and hammering it out with a hammer. Loads of fun. I made a very cool curved knife with a hand guard out of a railroad spike. Beautiful. Sold it for like $30, which was way more than it was worth, and I regret selling it because I miss it now. And haven't gotten around to making myself a new one. Kin Chem DJ Productions. What is your favorite YouTube channel besides yours? The Great War. It's a channel about World War I that they started back in 2014 at the 100-year anniversary, and then every week they produce a new episode of what happened that week 100 years ago. So it is the most detailed and in-depth look at World War I you will probably ever see. They've got hundreds of episodes now because it's 3 years later. The war is still gone nowhere, and it's absolutely fascinating, and I highly recommend it. Somebody else asked, I think, what was my favorite Nerf YouTube channel, and I really don't have one. There's a bunch I watch. I obviously watch Walcoms. I enjoy his stuff, and I do watch Mr. Nathan's stuff because his build guides are light years behind or beyond what I'm currently doing. And I do actually watch Barrett's war footage because he does such a good job at that. It's fun to watch him, sneak up and shoot me with the Sax BZ or shoot me in the foot with his Artemis, and loads of fun. And occasionally getting to see me slaughter him with a machete. But I really need to get my war footage up to his level because I'm still lagging behind on that. So those are the ones that I really enjoy. I also do watch The Curators because he's got old school stuff, and that is just cool to see. Marty Veniscayan. Hey, Cap, what is your opinion on using a Swarmfire as a primary? The Swarmfire is actually a remarkably good blaster in a lot of ways. It's easy to reload, it's got a high capacity, it's full auto. Just by putting slightly more powerful batteries, you can actually get it quite high rate of fire. I really like the doubled one that I built, but a single one, I've used it in revolver rounds, which was a bit cheeky and cheap because it's a full auto revolver, but it's a revolver. Nobody could argue it wasn't a revolver. And it kind of dominated because full auto, 20 round capacity, definitely better than, a strong arm or a hammer shot or any other of the smaller capacity ones. Yeah, loads of fun. I think it could be done. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Well, actually, I'm not sure I wouldn't recommend it for HVZ because it's so easy to top off as you go. So, if that's what you got, run with it. You can make it work. Andrew Sinabutar. Mister, who is your favorite YouTube regarding sword? Well, that's just grammatically incorrect. I actually don't have one. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube channels that are just people talking about swords. I do occasionally go to YouTube to watch things like SCA duels or the World Armored Fighting stuff in Europe, which is just amazing and insane. But I don't watch anybody who just talks about swords. The Titan. How do you attach a pump to a Titan tank? I use, well, it depends on which pump, but the bike hose one, or the bike pump ones that I just use a bit of hose and connect it right in and then glue it in. Barbros Studios. What college did you go to? I went to the University of Idaho in Moscow, Idaho. and got my bachelor's degree in computer science. John Lewis, do you have any phobias and or fears? I don't have any true phobias like arachnophobia where I freak out and run away. I do have general social anxiety, being a huge nerd and an introvert. And it's not really that I hate being in social situations, it's just that they wear me out because I'm an introvert and then I need to go and hermit for a week to survive, which has not helped my dating life at all. Brick Boss Studios. Hey, Chaylo, have you seen SF Edwards' mods or read his Spiral Wars book? SF Edwards actually does come to our Nerf Wars, and he's been to at least one of my mod parties, and he brought me copies of the whole series and signed them. So I have a signed original printing, which is just cool. Haven't finished reading them yet. I finished the addendum book, and I'm about halfway through the first book. And I'm very much enjoying it. And yes, I've seen his mods, and they are gorgeous, and I love that he's doing Nerf mods to represent the guns from his book, which is just a really neat idea, I think. And finally, Orc at War 98. Do you know how to make a night loadout? You'll have to define what a night loadout is and ask me for next week, because I have no idea what exactly that means. Yeah, so elucidate. How about thee? Missed. All right, packages. I have so many packages. I have 14 packages today, and they all sound like happiness. Let's do this. Okay, so like I said, I have 14 packages, which I think is the most packages I've ever gotten in one sitting, and so many of them sound like happiness, it just makes me warm and fuzzy. So, we're going to start with the little one that actually says Lego on it. Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's a Knight's Kingdom set. Check it out. Little war ram catapult looking thing. Every castle line had something like this, and they were always really cool because it came with extra soldiers, extra parts, extra weapons. Always very, very cool, and I really like this one. I definitely did not have any of this figure line, I don't think. I missed the whole Knight's Kingdom line, which bummed me out because it was such a good castle line. So that is excellent. That will be getting built. All right. Something from Ryan. Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, what do we got? Come here. Captain X. This figure is for Barrett. Alternatively, you could add Barrett to your Lego creation. Also, I agree, Lego bags with holes equals childhood for me, too. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Ah. Oh, I'll bet I know what's in there. Yep. I will, in fact, give this to Barrett the next time I see him. I don't know what set these are actually supposed to be for. I sent the instructions for a very old Lego pirate set that I remember having. And then 2 bags of Legos that are currently unopened, but these are the ones I mentioned in one of my videos where they're full of holes. And for some reason, tearing these open was, a huge part of my childhood, and one of those things that made, if I was ripping one of these bags, it was because I was opening Legos and was therefore happy. So, I might just keep one of these intact, just cuz, but there's good parts in them. Oh, decisions. Thank you so much for this. That is cool. I'm sure Brett will appreciate what he has gotten. I like the bag. Very cool. All right. Shark. Let's open a little package. Sounds like happiness. Let me in. Open up. Open sesame. Aha. I'm in. It appears to be a tiny pirate set. Another one. In 2015. It's like a pirate, a shark, and a tiny island with palm trees. Super cool. I don't think I had any of the newer sharks. I only had the older ones, which is pretty groovy. A great episode of Buy the Book where I build all these little sets that you guys are sending me. That will be very, very fun. Alright, next tiny one. Sounds like happiness. It's wrapped. Somebody sent me wrapped. It's a present. Come on. Come on. The ribbon's in my colors. The ribbon's in my colors. That is beyond cool. Alright, what do we got? Oh, man, that takes me back. Fright Nights. I don't know that I had this little set. And a tiny Technic motorcycle. Sweet! I definitely didn't have that. That is entirely too cool. Wow, where did you find these? That is amazing. I'm keeping the ribbon. Ribbon, it's the Bionicalist. Oh, good lord, nice. Pretty sure I don't have this one either. I might have had this one. I don't remember, but it's got the loot. This was just regular castle. I don't know if this was before or after the Knight's Kingdom. I think this was after. But it was another one of those series that I wasn't really buying Lego at the time and missed, but they had great minifigures, great armor, great weapons, and it was just really cool. If it comes, oh, another dog! Sweet. Now I will have 2 dogs for my kennel in the castle. Sweet. You guys spoil me so much. Legos! Legos! Who's next? No. We'll go with this one. Happiness. Sweet. Buttery goodness. A Hobbit set. An elf. Which one? Probably Turiel. Kinda looks like her. Doesn't have hair, which is a shame. Got the green hood though. I don't think I had that. And another mushroom. I did not have enough mushrooms. And that is super cool. Oh, wow. It's got a moose. There's a moose. A brick-built moose. That is entirely too cool. Lego Creator. A bucket and a hatchet and fish and entirely too cool. That moose is entirely too awesome. That's going to get its own episode of Buy the Book. That is cool. Oh, lots of different ways you could build it. Nice. There is so much in here that I could use for one of my buildings in a village. Put a better door on it, better windows. That is super cool. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Next. Could be. Another castle one. This one I did have. I bought this one when the Lego movie came out, and I built it while watching the Lego movie, so it's got very, very good memories to it. And once again, you can never have too much of the same set, because it just means more figures, more parts, and this one was full of good parts. Yes! I know what I'm going to do with this one, because there's some neat history behind this concept, so I'm definitely going to... Yes, this one will also get its own episode for good reasons. That is... God, that is cool. Because I loved this set when I got it. Yes, and now I have it again. You guys are awesome. You spoil me. Alright, let's see what we got. More. Hi, Chaylo. Enjoy your gift exploring junior building sets for unique parts and filling gaps in minifig acquisition. All the best, Sparky. Saint comes and mail error. Thou told my kids I am a sword saint from Japan. I'm not sure what that means. Saint comes and mail error. Thou told my kids I'm a sword saint from Japan. I have no idea what that means, but you are awesome. He sent me skeletons! 4 skeletons. Sweet! The old swivel arm ones, too, rather than the newer ones. Very nice! I'm going to need skeletons when the siege comes and the dead rise from the graves. Super cool. Alright, what do we got next? Huh. Happiness. Remember? Sure enough, Oh, it's another Knights Kingdom one. Yes, I never got enough of the Great Helms from this line. I think I only have 1 or 2, and I got them later in minifig packs. But I mean, I like the shields because they're like the original, which is weird because this was called Kingdoms rather than Castle. So it's considered a completely separate line, but they had the shield that's more like the original Lions, which is just really, really nice. I actually prefer the proper heraldic one to the one where it's just a face looking straight at you, because they didn't do that as often as they had ones like this that are rampant. Though he's facing the other direction, which is really, really cool. So again, another prisoner set to kind of go along with the this one, which again, like I said, every line had something kind of similar. And I will go into the details of that when I build these. I may end up doing both of these in an episode together. And once again, I'll show you why. So that is super cool! Oh, so cool. Alright, what do we got? Let's go with this one. Ah, another one from Ryan. I dig the, oh good lord, that's a lot of tape. I like the Tinkerbell duct tape. That, I did not know that was a thing. Alright. Good lord. Good lord. Letters inside. I've been given a Little Mermaid notebook. Captain X. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hope the day finds you well. Love the new LEGO channel and hope to see more. We must have similar tastes in LEGO. We love Castle and Pirate as well. Found this Prince of Persia set at a huge discount once upon a time and have done nothing with them but have good parts. So please build and enjoy them. Use in construction. I know the figures are pink and yellow, but good parts and animals. Your friend Brett also has a great channel, but no mailing address, so please forward the missiles to him. Each missile is named with a great sax player. We started posting to your YouTube channel this week, or to our YouTube channel this week. If you like, give us a look. It is under my name, Ryan Eggleston. Thank you for great content, Ryan, Michelle, Greta. Oh, it's these folks again. I think. I hope. Yes. Yes. And thank you for reading. Sorry about the handwriting. Dart Zone Cylinder is for Wallcom. Oh, those are for other folks. That is so cool. I will make sure that they get these at the next mod party or war that I see them at. What do we have? And I have finally decided what I'm going to build, you folks, and I'm going to start building them. I swear. All right, we've got minifigs. Those are going to get opened. We have, oh, another one of this one. So there I was saying I didn't have enough of this helmet, and I've gotten 2 of them in one day. So cool. Plus, I finally have the newer armored horse armor, which I didn't have. Sweet. Should have started a LEGO channel years ago. Oh, and a Prince of Persia sets. Yeah. Being, of course, like you said, from the movies, they, of course, pink, but I don't actually, that doesn't bother me. But yes, so many good animals, good creatures. Ostriches, lots of weapons, good parts. Yes. Most excellent. I will do these 2. I'm gonna have to just be mass uploading LEGO videos soon. Mike! Oh, yeah. Legend Fire Cylinder. Very good. I'll make sure he gets that. Sax BZ Special Saxophone Player Rock. That is just the coolest idea ever. I will make sure that he gets these. And that Wallcom gets these. And that they get your letters to read as well. You folks are awesome. I want to see what minifigs you've got me right now. Because I want to know. What do we got? Ooh, the Gladiator. Most excellent. With the trident. Fantastic. I love that they actually have things like printed on the arms and they have stuff printed on the backs. That is very cool. That is excellent. That will be going into my Ancients collection that I have in my home office. Alright, let's check out the other one. Oh, ha-ha! Ask and you shall receive. I went from having none of this epic elf princess warrior to now having 3. I shall have an entire legion of elf princesses. Or I'll have the ability to make other ones with using the head and so forth. But, yes, the elf princess and the gladiator. Sweet! He always sends me the best figures. He is so good at feeling out what they is, which is just awesome. So cool. Okay. We're going there. We're going to them. Alright. Next. Could be anything. Oh, good. Oh, not a letter. A book. Congrats on being the least terrible Nerf tuber. Hey. I've been terrible. This kit should tickle more than one of your self-professed fancies. It's part Lego, all Nerf, and all powered pump-action mag-fed Springer, and selectively, when needed, can be used as a shotgun for 2 to 4 darts. The spread doesn't tend to be terribly wide, though. You can get the itch to customize. Just pester me or anyone else you know that has a 3D printer. Wallcom says he has a tiny one and he is in the process of building one for himself. I actually heard about that. Keep on keeping on, Captain Slug. Oh, sweet buttery goodness. Sweet buttery. Oh. I'm sure there are folks at home wishing me harm for my good luck. It is both Nerf and... Good Lord. So, the inestimable Captain Slug contacted me in my comments and asked if I was interested in a Caliburn, and I definitely was, because I'd seen them and they looked pretty darn awesome. And, I checked out his website, his Etsy page, and they were out. And I was like, I would love to, but they're out, so how much are they? And he's like, oh, well, they're about this much. Or if you'd be willing to do a review, you can have one for free, which is amazing. So he has sent me all of the parts for a Caliburn, which is amazing. In my colors, nonetheless. That is absolutely magnificent, sir. That's a lot of metal hardware. I approve. This is gonna be the most amazing video to build this on camera. So look forward to that, folks. I will be building my Caliburn from Captain Slug. I love the name. When captains must stick together. In an upcoming video, probably this weekend. Oh, that is so cool. That is... You spoil me? You spoil me. How did I become the least terrible? I'm a schmuck. I've met me. I object. But I don't object to this. This is amazing. I will have all of his contact information in the video for the build for that, so look forward to that. Okay, what do we got here? No idea. Amazon fulfillment service. Oh, no. Sweet. Oh, man. Hi, Chaylo. Aiming for unique pieces. Make the ninja elves using the Polly Pocket hair from Sparky the Saint. Ninja elves? That is such a good idea. Enjoy your gift from Sparky the Saint. Enjoy your gift from Sparky the Saint. I am going to enjoy the heck out of my gifts from Sparky the Saint. What do we have? We have Ninja Juniors. Oh, it's got the snake head. Yes. And gold dragons, and the double-bladed axes, and ninjas, and doors that I never had before, and a weird... Oh, they don't look like they can be used in anything but this set, though. I can deal with that. That is sweet. Ninjas. When Ninjago first came out, I wasn't terribly impressed, because they had the previous kind of samurai ninja line, and I loved that because it was historic looking. And then the Ninjago stuff came out and was much more fantasy, much more anime-ish. But the quality of the Lego sets, of the Ninjago sets that have been coming out, are absolutely incredible. The huge city, the boats, all the stuff that's based on the movie are just incredible. As far as build quality, build design, parts to cost ratio, absolutely the best stuff that I think Lego has come out with in a very long time. So this is cool. It looks like a ninja training center with falling axes and stuff. That is neat. I really like the idea of ninja elves. Alright, what else do we have in here? Ooh, another one of these little war wagon things. This one looks like a flamethrower. Also from the Fright Nights. Very cool. And parts, blue parts it looks like. Nice. You can never have... Oh, okay, that's what you're... Yeah, you wanted me to make a better waterfall. There was going to be one in either the dwarves or the elves, or possibly between them. Someday I will be able to finish that whole build. And extra blue parts would definitely... Especially all the different shades of blue. There are a lot of colors of blue here that I probably had one or two parts in, and now I've got more. Very cool! Never have too much Lego. And base plates. Oh, good lord, 3 of them. Nice. Very cool. I was actually starting to run low on some of these. So you can never have too many base plates. You, sir, are a saint. All right, next up, we've got something from Tad Johnson, who I think I know who that is. I'm not good with names. I'm good with numbers. That's why I went into computers. Sweets for days. Holy good lord. Root beer float Mike and Ike's are a thing? My whole life has been a lie. Oh, never been a fan of the banana ones, but I sure do like the strawberry ones. But I know folks who like bananas. Bottle caps, nerds. Ooh, zombie strike stencils. Nice, because they wear out when you put 20 or so coats of paint on them. Awesome, thank you. Nerds. Good. Prominently. Open off camera first. As promised. Oh my sweet Ghibli donuts. The man did it. The man has sent me metal stampede gears. That. Yes. Yes. That is amazing. Oh ho 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 ho. That. Oh, Ira's gonna like these. They also have additional 3D printed upgrade parts, catch mechanism, motor cover, larger motor attachment, and a replacement trigger. All of which are just entirely super cool. What I've been wanting to do, because the fans in Germany sent me that brass breech kit, and I didn't want to put that in Ire because then she'd be too powerful for HVZ. So one of the builds that's been on my list and is now definitely higher on the list was a war practical Stampede, another sister blaster for Ire. There were lots of Valkyries. One that had the brass breech and the upgraded motor running on LiPo, and now I could definitely put these parts in her as well and be able to make it even that much more powerful. So that build is gonna have to get moved up a little bit, doing a absolute maxed out Stampede for potential war use. So cool. This was part of the trade for the Auto Strife Vector that I recently made. He sent me all the parts, so it was just a matter of assembling it. And when it came time to discuss the pecuniary details, he'd mentioned that he had these, and I said I'd trade straight up for these parts. So that, I think, plus a huge box of candy. Gonna die of beatish. That's what's gonna happen to me. Gonna die of beatish. Sweet. That's going back in there. This is going in my build parts power. That is so cool, sir. All right. One last package, which is not so much fan mail. It is a box from my patron. You haven't seen a lot of that recently. I did finally finish the first 5 blasters for him, but then there were some potential changes, so I held off on shipping them. And I'm getting ready, hopefully this weekend, to start the next wave. And after all of these months, I will finally start getting stuff shipped. I've got a hoodie, apparently. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So he has sent me the lipos that he's planning to use so that I can actually properly test and make sure everything is working correctly, which I appreciate. These are the same ones that I recently started using for my Strife builds, because they will actually fit into a Strife battery tray without having to print a new tray. But they don't use XT60 connectors, they use these smaller ones, which fortunately I have several dozen of, maybe several score. But he also has the larger 3S, these are little 2S ones. And he sent the larger 3S ones that have the XT60 that will fit in the tray, but you need an expanded battery door. But they're different connectors, and I think what I will end up making is an adapter that goes from the XT60s that are in the blasters I made and adapt down to this so that he could use either of these in the blaster, depending on, and then just have to get the different battery doors. So, sweet, that is awesome. And a shirt. Shirts are cool. I do like shirts. And what do we have? We have, ooh, a bazooka. And it's loaded. Good Lord. Where on earth did you find that many bazooka rounds? Ooh. That one was overloaded. Got a little smash there. Actually has, it looks like he's got the full 10. That is amazing. So I don't think this actually has a firing spring. I think it just has a return spring, but definitely going to have to pop this open and take a peek on it in a episode of Can It Take a K26. Like I said, I don't know that it even has a combat or an actual spring, but we're going to find out. So that is pretty nifty. And ooh, what on earth is this? Well, whatever it is, it appears to be jammed pretty good. Oh, I see. That seems to be some sort of a flywheel blaster. Grip's a little small for my big monkey hands, but that's nothing new. Other than that, it's a really nice looking barricade with a really cool stock, so that's pretty nifty. And, oh, there's something else. Come on, come here. Ah ha ha! The usual swag. Crunch bars. I am actually a huge fan of the Crunch Bar. And Starburst. Yes. So much good stuff here. Snacks for days. Cool blasters to play with. Batteries to test with. Excellent, excellent. Jomo, I will get your arsenal headed your way in the very near future. I know which ones I'm going to start on next. I just need to get them apart and start the painting process. I got more vinyl dye, so I should be able to get a whole bunch of shells prepped and start on the internals for you. So this will definitely help in the testing. I also finally have a LiPo charger, so I will actually be able to work with them. So that is awesome. Thank you guys again. So just look. Oh God, Legos. Yeah. You guys spoil me, and I cannot thank you enough. I guess I can just keep doing what I have been doing and making good content, or try to make good content. As I keep telling you, I've got some amazing stuff coming down the pipe. It's just taking forever for lots of reasons. But I hope to have at least one good build video for you guys this weekend for one that I've been building. I was hoping to get one more attachment for it built, but I haven't got it done yet. I may ping the curator and see if he can hook me up with the part I'm going to need. It's going to be a brutal thing to brutalize, but it might need to happen for you guys. So, thank you so much. Again, do feel free to send me any Lego set. Some of these I had, and that is awesome because you can never have too many parts. Others I did not have, which is just amazing. This is just tactile heaven for me. It's just kind of weird. Again, all of it. You guys are awesome. I'm going to spend my Friday night playing with Legos. You guys have an awesome weekend, and thank you for watching.